All right, folks, back on the Bossman show, going to St. Louis, Missouri to Harris-Stowe State University here with me. Coach Michael Cook here with me on the Bossman show. You see him with his nice shirt on in the background. Coach, I know you're grinding, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Our guys are on campus. We're doing some lifting and conditioning and just we're doing a lot of community service right now, just trying to get our name out in St. Louis and the areas and trying to just build that brand. It's all about branding what we do and how we're trying to help the Harris-Stowe State University athletic department continue to grow.
And Coach Cook, let me ask you this, man. What's been the biggest difference for you going from year one to year two here in Harris-Stowe? I know how it is when you take over something, you really don't know the lay of the land until you get there. So how has it been going from year one heading to year two now?
Year one was about just getting out, knowing everybody, getting out of the community, meeting, you got to kiss some babies, shake those hands. It's politicking. But we finished last year with a newcomer of the year. We had 4 guys make all conference, and we had 8 guys on academic all conference teams. So that was the main thing that we wanted to make sure these guys get education. We had 3 guys graduate with a 3.5 or higher. So that was a big thing. But going into this year recruiting, we want to get more guys that fit what we try to do, which is playing more up tempo, trapping and running and doing it. And kids want to play fast. So if you look at the D1s, you look at NBA, they all playing fast, wide open, 5-out offense. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. But the difference, I think, this year is that everybody's starting to see the vision and the plan of what we're doing and believing in it more. And I don't mean just our student athletes. I mean, when the president comes or somebody says, I see your vision when your guys are playing, and they are a byproduct of what you're trying to do. That's the biggest thing. We had to make sure we sell the plan and sell the vision of what we're trying to do, and that people are buying into it. So to see that kind of grow and get the excitement back to our men's program has been exciting.
And Coach Cook, for as NAIA, I know in the D1 level and D2 level, you can offer scholarships. For D1, that guy can split up in D2. How is it in the NAIA for as needs based to getting guys to school? Which you've been a state university as well. And do y'all have like a radius where you can get people in to get them the in-state rate or get a waiver to help guys don't leave college in debt?
Yeah. There's always we have a couple. We have several scholarships you can apply for. The Hornet rate, but we stack our scholarships with our guys. So our guys have good grades and they'll get academic scholarship plus some money from us. And then we have a program called Open Doors that we do NIL deals on those things too. So our goal is to make sure people leave school without debt. That for me is my program. I think for everybody on our campus that way. So, we have lowest tuition rate in the state of Kansas. So it doesn't cost, state of Missouri, which doesn't cost a lot to go to school here. So we're trying to get our enrollment up. We're trying to increase all those things. At HBCU, I think a lot of people just look at the culture as far as the step shows and all that stuff. But we have a great academic base here, and then we do, we set them up for jobs when they leave. We make sure we do the little things to get them to start after they get done playing here to get a jump on life skills and life situations. So I don't think anybody last year owed any money on our team, to be honest with you. I think we stacked them up pretty well, and they left without owing money when they graduated or at the end of the year. So that was the whole focus of what we're doing. So we'll get a stipend from athletic, then housing gives you a little stipend, then you can stack up stuff too. So we have a lot of great academic scholarships or just regular scholarships that help the surrounding areas also.
And Coach Cook, talk about the academic piece of it as well, because I know I'm a product of my degree. My degree is in business. All right, it's like not communications, but this business is helping me on off the air part of it. The on air part I know. I played basketball, played football, played baseball, so sports piece of it I already know that back and forth. But the off the air stuff, degree helps me with. So talk about getting them good internships, networking in St. Louis area, getting them in them great companies like O'Reilly, which is also in Missouri too, and helping those young men once the ball starts bouncing, have a career path once they leave Harris-Stowe State University.
Right, and that's kind of been the big focus point for Dr. LaTanya Collins-Smith is that we want to make sure that we give them the right tools to be able to get a job when they graduate. So we do a ton of internships with Anheuser-Busch, School of Business, our STEM research, our STEM department's done a great job. Right now I have a young lady who's international, but she's also doing internship with me to prepare her for when she graduates. And then I have another student I call her our student liaison. She's wanting to go into sports administration, so she works with us exclusively while she's doing her master's program to learn how to do those things when she graduates, to be able to kind of put that on her resume and get a jump on the start on what she wants to do. So we sit down with a lot of our students to talk about, not just student athletes, a lot of our students talk about what they want when they graduate, and we'll try to find them an internship or put them in touch with somebody that can give them a job that can kind of get them a start on what they want to do in life. And that's the first time I've seen that in a long time in schools. You know, HBCUs, and I only speak for Harris-Stowe, but I know when I was at the PWI, that majority they didn't do those type of things to help people get a start on the internship. But I know here, everybody that I talk to, that's all we're trying to do. You know, Dr. Baker, who's our VP of Student Affairs, he's helped so many people get jobs and get their masters and get their doctorates to go ahead and get a jump on what they want to do. That it's amazed me how they say he's their mentor. I mean, every time I talk to someone, they say he's my mentor. And we're out in the community. We're trying to meet people. We're doing a ton of community service, trying to get those internships set up to be able to help people get a start on life.
And Coach Cook, you're doing something great. I think that's one of the HBCU downfalls. We don't do enough of the community service and outreach. We was out of its word of mouth. Now, I've said this to many HBCU coaches I'll talk to offline. It's like, you have to get out of the community and touch people. Right, I didn't grow this show the way I did if I have to go touch people.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I wasn't known until I started touching people. And they're saying, oh, it's what he's doing. He's trying to help. Yes. So you have to get out there and sell yourself, and, but sell it the right way, not coming off overbearing, but just say, here's what we're doing. We're here to assist, we're here to help, and get your name out there. And then they'll resonate and they'll stick.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, I'm also assistant athletic director, and I'm over community partnerships and fan engagement. So for me, that's my job. I'm always, for the beginning of the school year, we had our sports go to different elementaries and welcome little kids back to school. We do a suicide walk. I know we're going to do a school back to school bash next week. Our team is. We also do cancer walks. We're also meeting next week to have a high school pep rally where they come on campus and they'll talk to the teachers, and we'll have booths. And so we're basically just reaching out to these people and trying to get them to understand that we have to do that. We're here for you, basically. So we keep a chart on things and make sure that these guys know that we have to get back. We don't want our kids come from different areas of the world and not giving back to the St. Louis community. We want them to understand that we thank you for embracing us, but we also want to give back and let you know we're here to help you also. I'm blessed to have 21 guys in my program that love that. We've had a young man from Louisiana, and you never know how they're going to react when you say, let's do this community service. First thing he says, Coach, back in Louisiana, I don't get to go out much. So I need to go out and see all these people and get to know people because I want them to come to our games. So we have high school bands come to our game and kind of play and play for our cheerleaders and not just play for their high school, but also that's the way to bridge a gap. And then we do also a thing called Coaches Caravan, where all the coaches go to surrounding high schools and talk about the scholarships that we have available, and also what we're looking for in young players if you want to try to come play at Harris-Stowe. So, and we partner up with our TRIO program to do that, where we're going to go and talk to the guidance counselors and talk to them at their schools about how they can get to Harris-Stowe and what it takes to get there. I think if they know what we're looking for and what we're offering and what requirements are to get in school, it makes it easier, because some kids are just sometimes too shy or hesitant to ask what it takes because nobody's graduated from their college, so they just assume they can't do it. So our job is to show them that they can do those things and they are capable of doing the things they want to do. We're just going to give you the pathway to walk down that journey, and we're going to walk with you.
Yeah, and then like for me, I'm my grandmother's only grandson and grandchild to graduate from college. It's me.
Yep.
She has 14 grandkids, and I'm the only one.
Yeah, my brother and I are the only ones in our entire family to have degrees from college. We both have a master's. I hope to start working on my doctorate in a couple of years. I wanted to wait on that until I got the program going the way it was, but I think when your players see you doing a lot of that stuff, they're inspired to do that. They're not just going to sit still because you model the behavior you want. If you're out in the community, then the players and the students are going to see you. I walk around campus. I don't just stay in the gym. I walk around campus to get to know people that aren't basketball players and ask them what they appreciate about Harris-Stowe, because not everybody can play sports. They may like it, but not everybody can play it. But if you find out what their interest is and you generally talk to them and speak to them, you never know what you're doing for them that day. You never know how they may look at you and look at the school differently because somebody spoke to them. We never know what somebody's going through. So I try to walk around campus 2 or 3 times a day, and then my guys start doing that now. I walk out and I see them walking around speaking to people. Our job is to develop leaders, not just basketball players. So we want to make sure they go back home and be leaders in their communities also.
Well, you got that right, coach. Let's get man. For you, at what point did this coaching journey start for you? Like when did you get this bug to want to become a coach?
I would say I started. I was always when I played the point, I always knew the game, and I always would sit and talk to coaches. But they would always say there's not a lot of money in coaching, And then when I first got married, I was a director of operations for a finance company, and I was making a lot of money, but I wasn't happy. And then I started the AAU program that itch just started. I started developing 4 or 5 teams, and I was always at the gym. And finally somebody said, you're wasting time doing that finance. You need to go do something that you love doing. And I volunteered coach at a college, and then when they started paying me, when I might as well say I was still volunteer, I was only making $4,000 a year, but we had money saved up, and I loved it. And then now, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing it. I just love being around our guys. My wife and all our kids are grown, and we have grandkids, so it's just me and her at home, unless the grandkids come. So they call her Mama Cook, and they call me Papa Cook on campus, and we just try to spend as much time with them. But basketball is that avenue to be able to talk to them. But once we drop the ball, we still hold that conversation with them when we'll have them come out to eat. Or if I'm on the road playing, the young ladies on campus will call my wife and say, hey, we want to take you to go eat. Can you talk to us about some things? So I think we all have a purpose, and that's my wife and I's purpose, is to help them grow on and off the court, but also to be their parents for them when they're away from home. And that's how we use basketball to get to know them and talk to them and kind of just be that shoulder they can lean on if something's going bad.
Yes, coach. I feel like basketball and football and baseball, sports I play, like, though I love my parents, but having people like yourself and other mentors who really cared about me as a person to mold me and help me to this day, because I'm almost 40 years old, but it's like all the lessons they taught me, it makes sense now.
Right. You know how many times I get a call and somebody says that? Or a guy say, I went into coaching because of you. And then they'll say, if I was as bad as these kids are with me, I apologize, coach. I apologize doing all that stuff to you. But the lessons that we learned, and, they teach me. We had a team building exercise last night. I learned how to be a better coach just from what they were telling me, what they went through. Because not every kid's the same. Every young man is not the same. So I can't yell at this kid when I yell at another kid. I have to be able to reach this kid because he may have just been raised by a strong woman, but he doesn't know how to interact with a man because no man's been in his life. So I got to find a different avenue to speak to them and reach them and help them grow and get better. And that's the one thing. And the one thing I tell them every day is that I love you, because a lot of these young kids don't hear that. They're just, hey, go play basketball. But I hug and love on our guys every day. We have a motto where I yell out live and they yell out laugh, love, because we're going to live right. We're going to laugh often. We're going to love hard. And those things are crucial to me, because when I leave, it's not about the rings or the wins and losses I have. It's about how I impact somebody's life and they can pay it forward to somebody else. I want to be there for them. And those are things that I check on our guys. If I'm recruiting somebody and I don't get them, I still check on them later when they're at somebody else. Are you doing all right? You going to class? You getting your grades right? Because I don't want them to be known just as a basketball player. Let's use basketball and not let basketball use us in this process. So it's a mentorship that I enjoy. It's a life that I really embrace. And, you have to be a special person to be able to handle the losses and still look at these guys and say, you're more than a basketball player, because that's what they see themselves as to get out of the areas they're in sometimes. And I have to show them that there's more to it. Let's get education. Let's get our foot in the door of what we want to do. We have a young man on our team right now trying to start a clothing brand. We set him up with a place in town that does clothing, and he's already making his sweatshirts and selling them. And now we're talking about doing LLCs, and we're talking about doing the taxes and everything. So our job is to teach them and help them get to where they want to be in life, not just a basketball player.
No doubt, coach. I'll be honest with coach. I'll tell you, if I could not run fast, I don't think I would talk to you today. If I couldn't run fast, that was my way out. Be able to run fast and catch a football. I'm not gonna lie about that. I feel like if it wasn't for that, I don't know where my life goes. But thankfully, I was given talent to be able to run fast, catch a football.
Exactly.
They got me a scholarship, got me out. So it's like some people don't understand it. It's that thin a line for some of us.
Yeah.
Between having a good life and a life we probably don't want to have.
Yeah. So when a young man says, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't be here, I don't take it as he's basketball's end all to be all. He's using basketball to get out of that area he was in because he didn't want to be back in the streets. The streets are calling him. And we all have friends that say, hey, just come back to the streets. But he's trying to move forward. So I'm going to give him that avenue to play basketball, but I'm going to teach him those tools to use basketball. Hey, you know what? Somebody's saying you play good. Go talk to him about maybe working for him and help him out. You know what? You're going to be a camp instructor today. You're going to talk to these kids about why you should play basketball to get, if you need to get a break or get a release, go play basketball and find somebody that can help you get that scholarship. Because sometimes they can't afford school. If it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have went to school. I can tell you that right now. I went to college because we couldn't afford it. And I was just blessed to be able to get a scholarship. I couldn't afford to go to school. Back they didn't have all the things back then that they have now, all these grants, all these scholarships. It was either basketball or nothing for me. I had good grades, but I didn't have academic money to go there. So I was blessed to have a scholarship, and my mom played basketball. That's the only reason I knew. I loved it because she played it. My father wasn't in my life. I didn't know all those things, but I learned through it. My mom said, you're going to do the financial aid on your own. I'm not going to do it for you. You're going to do this fast for yourself. And I learned how to do those things and give back to people. So, you know, the journey's not over until they get where they need to be, but then the journey continues again because they got to sow those seeds to give to somebody else. And so you never seen a desert flower. We got to go through those storms to get where we need to be. And
Yes.
so the flowers aren't going in the sand. So when we have bad years, bad seasons, bad wins and losses, I don't worry about it because I'm gonna look at what they learned from those situations. And I'm blessed to be at Harris-Stowe that they understand that program of what we're trying to do on that. You know, they didn't win but 2 games in 2 years before I got here because you had COVID year, then there's 2-27. Well, we won 9-10 last year. They thought it was a great thing. Now, me being the competitor in me, I'm going, no, we can do better. But I understood why they thought it was a great thing because they seen all our guys made 8 guys that made academic all conference. That's the most in the conference. And they all had 3.5s or higher. So they see that. Well, you know, retention is a huge thing. So these kids are graduating. The graduation rate is great. So now we're not just selling basketball. We're selling how you can get a great education at Harris-Stowe State University. That is the key in this. You're just going to use the sports to get that education. And that's what we're trying to teach them.
No doubt, Coach. Last one for you, Coach. I know you got some guys from Georgia on your roster, and talk about recruiting in Atlanta, including Georgia, and the talent of players you can get out of this state.
I think people don't understand that how much talent is in Georgia, you know, because a lot of people just look at, you know, you look at Georgia, you look at Georgia Tech, you look at Georgia State, you look at all those guys, all those schools, and there's other schools, obviously. But some of the talent gets left on the wayside because there's only so many schools they can go to there. You know, like our big guy, Valdi Zephyr, he's Haitian. He went there. He said, I had to get out of Georgia. I had to because I wanted to start something new and learn how to live on my own away from home. And he's 6'9". He had other offers. He chose us. So what's that do? We treat him right and we do great things for him. Well, he's our recruiting piece. He goes back home and he says, you need to talk to Coach Cook. It helped me grow as a young man. It helped me get better. We try to go down to Georgia. Yeah, we're NAIA, so we're not going to go to the Peach Jams. We're not going to go to all those things. We'll go and we'll represent. We'll put our name out there, but we also know we're not going to get a 5-star guy because everybody wants to go D1. But we're going to get a guy that fits what we do. Now the portal helps us with that also, though. The portal allows us to go get guys out of Georgia and out of California that may not have thought about St. Louis. But Georgia is a hotbed of talent that people don't understand. You need to go down there. And you need to spend a week or two down there and you'll understand, okay, I get it now. I get there's talent down there. Where else can we go? You know, we have a couple of coaches that talk to us and send us names every day from Georgia. And we've been blessed to get two to come here. And they were freshmen last year. They both played a lot. We're trying to make sure that they both start this year, but they're also track athletes. So they get track money too. So they're saving money doing dual sports. And that's what we do. We work with other sports here to help them. And some of the things help them grow off the court because they're in track. So they get faster, they get stronger. They're doing something the entire year. We plan to go back to Georgia in a couple of weeks, hopefully. And whenever they get to this JUCO starts having their jamborees, we can get down there and check out some players and see who's available for next year. We look for 24s, but we definitely want to stay in that area and find a hotbed. My daughter lives in South Carolina, so I drive through there to go see her all the time. So I'll stop and say, hey, I'm going to see you, but I got to stop and see some talent first and make sure we get some good guys. When I was in JUCO, we had a ton of Georgia kids, and one of them helped us. He's from Murrell, Georgia, and helped us win our first conference championship. He was a guard that came in, and we had Coach McKissick down there to help us find some good players.
No doubt. George definitely a hotbed, Coach Cook. Well, definitely when you come through, I'll get your number offline, man. Maybe stop and have something to eat somewhere.
No
When you
doubt.
come down through here,
No
man.
doubt. I expect that good food, by the way, when I give you that call. I better get that call. That call, you better say I got a spot we can go because we're gonna take care of you. So
Coach, I got you already. I got some in my head already for you, Coach. Already.
no doubt, no doubt. I will be down there because the two players I told them I was talking to you today, they said, you need to come down there, Coach. Don't just Zoom calls. You need to go down there and meet some people. So we're gonna get down there. And we're going to make sure we take care of everybody down there that we can recruit. And we're also just going to, we're not just going to talk about our basketball. We're talking about Harris-Stowe. Look at come and get a good education, and hopefully we can bring some coaches with us, track coaches and women's coaching, to come down there. We can just do one big swoop and just all kind of talk to everybody and get it going that way.
No doubt, Coach. Let me turn off line, Coach. I look forward to seeing you down here in Atlanta. I got some spots for you, Coach, already in mind, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Have a blessed day. I love you, man.
You too, Coach. Thank you so much, brother.
All right, appreciate it.